Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So today let us understand the topic of Mercury and Ketu. As I have earlier said, three topics: Mercury Saturn, Mercury Rahu, and Mercury Ketu. These combinations require a whole day to discuss. So that means whatever I will be telling you in these 20 odd minutes will be just excerpts from the combination. So, we all know that Mercury is a very soft planet, mild, timid, but very curious, highly active, wants to be always, in the action, in the situation. They do not want to be left out. So, the point of Mercury with communication is that Mercury would always want to participate. So when Ketu is along with Mercury, let us understand the differences or what Mercury and Ketu both go through when they are when they are together. Like for example, when Mercury and Ketu are far away from each other, the influence of Mercury over Ketu or Ketu over Mercury is not that much. So, whenever I am talking about a yoga, a conjunction, people are having some confusions here. So, I am just clearing one doubt before going into the combination of Mercury and Ketu. This doubt is that, let us take an example of 3 degrees Mercury in Virgo with a 27-degree Ketu in Virgo. So the difference between Mercury and Ketu is around 24 degrees now. So does this conjunction still apply? No. Why? The orb of influence of Ketu is very less. So I'll keep it as 7 degrees, and the orb of influence of Mercury is already defined at 7 degrees. So if I add 7 plus 7, you get 14 degrees. So that is the difference. So the difference was around 24 degrees. So 3 degrees and 27 degrees, 24 degrees. So the 14-degree thing is that if I put a Venn diagram of Mercury and Ketu, they don't meet at all. There is a 10-degree gap in between the edges of the orb of influence. So they have to mingle. The orbs of influence have to mingle. They have to go, overlap and go nearby. So how nearby? This is also another question people have asked. So if Mercury and Ketu are within 1 degree, then what will happen? Mercury will totally succumb to the pressure of Ketu and to the influence of Ketu, will not have its, individualistic impression or influence over the native at all. So Mercury will lose everything. So the point here is that it has to be in a safe distance. A safe distance is between, let us say, 2 to 3 degrees away from each other and till 10 degrees. So Mercury, if it is at 3 degrees in Virgo, then Ketu somewhere, even in Simha, if it is sitting at 27 degrees in Simha, that is in Leo, the difference between, when a conjunction is to be reckoned, you need to see it from the planet, not from the Rashi. Don't think that if it is sitting in a different Rashi, though it is only 2 degrees away from each other, that there is no conjunction. There is absolutely full conjunction. If two planets are only 2 degrees away from each other, but it divides because there are different Rashis, like one is in Leo, the other one is in Virgo. Don't think that they are away from each other. They are absolutely in conjunction. So try to understand this particular concept, and depending on the strength of this particular conjunction, I am giving you some points. And these points, as I told you, I cannot cover the whole topic because it's huge. So I'll just first tell you the positives of this conjunction. I'll just keep telling you some phrases and words and then explaining you this. Then you'll understand what actually this particular conjunction does. So, these people want to get in depth into every subject. They do not want to say no when somebody asks you a question and you have a Mercury Ketu in you. You would not want to say no, I don't know the answer. You will try to answer it somehow or the other. So the positive thing is that they would want to participate. The negative thing here, again, in this, a small negative is that though they do not know the answer, they will still participate. That's a little difficult situation to handle, but still, in depth research comes to a person by self interest, and that is because of Mercury and Ketu. They are very shy, but when provoked, they will bounce back or hit you back with full vigor. So you are not supposed to provoke these people because they look very timid, shy. They do not want to unnecessarily mingle with or come into any situation just like that. So they would always be open in their close circles. They would be open in their close circles. That is, those friends whom they are, familiar with. They would not be so happily open with those people who are, strangers. So knowledge is in abundance, but they look very modest. You can't even know when you see this a person, if at all it is in the ascendant, you will have that facial features of Mercury and Ketu. And when you see this person, you will feel, who is this Miki guy? What is he doing here? But when that fellow opens his mouth and starts to give his lecture, as a professor, you will be like, you will be taken aback because the depth of knowledge a Mercury Ketu can give a person is not easily, understood, because comprehending this particular point itself is so difficult. These guys dive deep into any subject, and they dive so deep that they forget the day, the night, the hour. So they go so deep into subjects. So these people are highly imaginative, but pointed imagination. They are very focused. So this is the positive thing. You go to the negative, it will be no focus at all. But anyway, I'll come there. They are highly skilled, and um, they have the skill to unnecessarily unsettle a group of thinkers. That is, they know how to provocate an argument, and they know how to bargain in a situation. Very brilliant people, very witty, but unemotionally witty. You will not even know that this fellow is doing this. So these people can become excellent stand-up comedian with the wit of Mercury and that emotionless Ketu. You might have seen one comedian in Hindi. I have seen that person. He never smiles.
Rajasthani.
He is a Rajasthani. Yeah, he never smiles, but the people sitting opposite to him simply laugh to death. He is extremely witty, very good in his terminology. Just giving you one personality. It's not that he has Mercury and Ketu. I'm just telling you that is the kind of personality which a person will get when you have Mercury and Ketu together. So usually this particular combination in the fifth house, 12th house, and the seventh house, people avoid marriage, and they would more become, aloof and be into themselves. They are happy with themselves. So they are more feminine in character, and they would prefer the same gender group to be with, associated with. So this is neither a malefic combination nor a benefic combination. Nowadays, people have accepted these kind of relationships, so we should not be against them, because earlier days, because of our dogmatism or whatever you call it, that our traditional morality or whatever, it is not accepted in many other countries till date, but still, uh, India it has started to become open. So people who are more interested in their own gender can be seen with this combination in the ascendant, the fifth, the seventh, or the 12th. Yeah, they are very sharp in their thinking, very good chess players, very good analysts, statisticians. They are excellent in problem solving, and their capabilities of programming in software, gaming experts, particularly gaming experts. They can read your mind. Who can read your mind? These people are called as sorcerers. So these people are called as occult experts, like crystal gazers, people who see the future, like astrologers, more than astrologers. We call them Prashna Shastra experts. These people can go into that depth. That is the profoundness of Mercury Ketu. So, in the 11th house, this person can become an intellectual adept, that is more tending towards a spiritualistic sannyasa. But adept means that these people have profound knowledge and proficiency in skill. Not many people have that around in the world, and these people are recognized for that particular skill around the world. And these people are like excellent critics, journalists, neurosurgeons, advocates, nanotechnology experts, and writers, particularly writers with such beautiful way of interpretation that you will not get it with the normal writers of Venus, Jupiter, and Moon. So these people, Venus, Jupiter, and Moon are knowledge, wisdom, and Mills and Boons. So Mills and Boons, in the sense that I just told you a genre as to how the writing would be, but these people are not like that. Mercury and Ketu, they will be writing books on strictly on anatomy of some medical science. They will get into something like technology, which is applicable to spacecrafts. They are somewhere else. To understand them, it is so difficult.
The comedian was Surendra Sharma.
Yeah, Surendra Sharma. I have heard him. Yeah, the comedian in Hindi, Surendra Sharma, a great comedian. I love to see his shows. So anyway, I still see whenever I feel that I need a good time. Mr. Surendra Sharma's videos, people can see that on YouTube. Very, very, very beautiful. But you need to know that
Language.
Hindi, the language Hindi. So knowing languages is good, so that you can understand that culture. So learning languages is good. So this is another main characteristics of Mercury and Ketu. They can be an excellent interpreter, like a person born in a village in South India in a Dravidian language, who is like a Tamilian, suddenly learning South Korean or going to Japanese and becoming an interpreter. So he's earning, traveling. His skill, he knows both languages complete. So that's a very great, in-depth, study for anybody. So, because knowing a language is easy, going to the proficient level, it's not that easy. So, Mercury and Ketu in the negative. So, the tough thing to explain, but I'll start. Phobia. The first most important problem of Mercury and Ketu is that these people suffer from phobia, different kinds of phobia, depending where it is and what sort of traumatic events these people have gone through in life. Let us say they have seen something burn, or somebody get burnt, they will have a phobia with fire. If they have seen a bad marriage in their parents, they will have a phobia with marriage. It continues like this. If they have seen somebody fall in the water, they will have phobia even going near water. You cannot ask them to go and swim. So, phobia is very important. These people learn that from bad experiences, which we call as trauma. So, poor diet and emaciated body, very thin, lean, not capable of strength. Their um, endurance power is very less. So this happens when you have this combination in the sixth house and the eighth house, and particularly in the eighth house when Mercury becomes the ascendant lord. So they are emotionless. As I said earlier, they are emotionless in the negative, in the sense that both are weak or both are strong and negatives. Malefics or malefically associated, like with Saturn. So they are sometimes cruel, wicked, harsh, rude, troublemakers, and they also trouble their maternal uncles. It's not that they get trouble from maternal uncles. If it is a strong negative combination, they trouble their maternal uncles. And if it is a weak malefic combination, they get trouble from their maternal uncles. So you need to understand this from and to. So they easily lie. They can easily take any subject and try to convince you. So these people have the ideology of how to convince. They have very bad memory power. These are all negative aspects. If it is positive, they will have the most acute memory. Here it is bad memory. So they are always unsettled, perturbed people, disturbed people, depression and sorrow. These are all wrong negatives which we need not see in a chart but prevalent. We need to read, we need to understand. So it's this particular point is not negative, but still it says that when Mercury and Ketu come together, they always have an opportunity to go to other lands, faraway places, meet strangers, and start transacting or living there. You need to stay there and have a relationship, marry a person of a different race, and also have business in that particular country or across countries. So foreign trade is also seen in this particular combination. The other medical problems which can come, medical astrology is that these people can suffer from cognitive difficulty, learning difficulty, speech difficulty, people having difficulty with regard to allergies, going in sun and drinking water. They have problems with getting going to a strange place and suiting to those places. It is very difficult for them. They cannot suddenly get adapted to a place. Like, for example, people from India going to Africa, or people from America coming to India, they are afraid of those places. Shift in environment, and we don't know what diseases we are susceptible to. So this is a combination which can show that you are susceptible. Be careful. So mental illnesses like schizophrenia, bipolarity, OCD, the other illnesses like dizziness, um, danger of height, that
They
is
also
what we
have
call as
suicide
a
tendencies.
phobia, suicidal tendencies, as ma'am said. That is because when the depression and sorrowness creeps in, and you know, what is that difficulty of height? It is. Vertigo. People can have problems of vertigo. People can have problems of melanin pigment deficiency, which causes vitiligo. That is the skin losing its color, and you get white patches around your body. There are two types. One is symmetrical and one is asymmetrical. Both are caused by this combination of Mercury and Ketu, but other combinations of moon coming into it, Mars coming into it also can change the different. There can be a lot of differences in this. So epilepsy and stroke is directly connected to this combination. So people who are having this, if you do not have any problem till date, or even if you have gone through a problem, see that you keep your blood pure. See that you keep your blood circulation good. And how do you do that? Do pranayama, do yoga. If you are fit enough, do yoga. If you are not fit, you are on the bed or on your chair, you cannot do much, then do your pranayama. There are many pranayamas like Anuloma Viloma, Bastrika, Kapalabhati, Simha Pranayama, Shwana Pranayama. Shitali, Brahmari. There are a lot of pranayamas. The only thing is that you need to understand which pranayama suits you by getting in touch with an expert. Don't simply start pranayamas just like that. Pranayamas can put you into hospitals because these are all very tough yogic sciences. So they do not like hot and bright places. They need always shadows, small coves. These people love to be in their secured environment because these people are not that bold enough, people who can fight situations directly. They would always use their brain, to tackle situations. So negatives are also high, lot of negatives. The positives are also very good. So you need to check the chart to understand where this particular position of Mercury and Ketu is placed, to understand the result of this particular conjunction. So anything else you would need to add?
So many things are there, but we can
Yeah.
close it.
So thank you very much for today's class.